sound on fire. Hey, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my Asexual Life. This is a place for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button down below, right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to hit that great big subscribe button if you haven't already done so. If you don't know who I am Sandra Burnley, author of Asexual, which is 47 asexual stories, love, life and sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of Asexualist.com and the founder of Asexualized Caddy. In tonight's episode, I want to talk to you about strange and funny things sexuals say to asexuals. So I have to say, I'm on a funny one tonight. I can't do nothing but laugh because I am seeing the funny side of sexuals' behaviours towards asexuals, right? So obviously we get all the usual gumph and all the usual pff, but sometimes there is a really funny side to it, and that's the fact that they really try their hardest to turn us on, and it doesn't matter what they do because we don't think like the majority of the population. It just doesn't do anything for us, and you kind of feel like, on the one hand, it could make you cry because you think, oh my God, why are you just so into sex? It just is ridiculous. But on the other hand, it's quite funny because you look at it and you just think this is just not going to work on me because I don't feel the same as the majority of the population. So as you know, if you watched my videos recently, I am in a UK singles group on Facebook, which has nothing to do with asexuality. I joined it a long time ago. I've forgotten I joined it, and this week I decided to get active on it and start talking about asexuality and the fact I'm asexual, looking for a relationship without sex and without marriage ever. And so I've had a range of guys messaging me. I must have had like 20 messages now. Like a lot of the guys have been abroad because they obviously want a visa and they'll say hi and things like that. I mean, you know, I had a strange one that said, "Hi, Bella." I mean, my surname's Bellamy. They can't even speak to me properly. Do you know what I mean? It's like as if I'm going to want to reply or engage in conversation with that type of person. Seriously, block. You know what I mean? And some of them, they'll just say hi and they say no more, right? And I just find it quite hilarious that a lot of the sexual guys too, they don't seem to know what to say half the time. It's like, is this it? You're just saying hi to me? And what else? Is that all you can say? Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm getting much more younger guys interested in me now, which is a start to what I like, but I prefer younger foreign guys. I've got foreign guys interested in me, but again, they're all abroad usually. Apart from the one I told you about, that's Indian, that's not asexual, and that does need sex after all. So this guy sent me, I can't do nothing but laugh. This guy sent me a picture of him, and I couldn't see it on my phone today. I thought, is this going to be a really disgusting private part photograph? So I just blocked him because I didn't look at it, right? But in actual fact, it's just showing his chest. It doesn't show other stuff, which is I'm glad about, because I did actually, someone was asking me about stuff in the group, and I did say, well, I don't mind the guy's chest being naked, but that's it, because I was talking about naked stuff, you know, that I don't like being naked. But basically a guy's chest is okay naked, like I don't need to see the rest of him. And so anyway, this guy sent me this picture. I mean, he is in his 20s and it's just like him going like this, and he's got literally a six-pack, so he's got the most tight chest and muscles you have seen in your life, and loads of women, girls would fancy him. I do agree, he's probably aesthetically okay looking. Like, his face is not bad, his hair's quite nice, but you see, that's what I'm looking at, his face and hair, not his six-pack. You know, I don't get attracted to guys like that have got a six-pack, because to me it's like hugging an armadillo. I mean, who wants to hug an armadillo or an earwig? Do you know what I'm saying? It's all ribbed. Who wants to hug that? How is that cuddly? How is that huggable? It's just not. Not to me, it isn't. You know, like I liked the Indian guy I told you who's hypersexual, sadly, at the place I go dancing to, because his skin is nice and soft and he's thin, but just like, you know, his body's really nice. It's like, you know, his chest and his physique, he's thin, but he's not muscly. And I don't like mussy guys. I can't stand them. You know, I can't. I mean, I say that now, but I might end up with a musty hunk. Who knows? But his message is, hey, sexy, I'm blah, blah. I'm single and looking. WBU, which I think means what about you? ND, which I think means and. You are fit ASF. Well, we all know that means as fuck. What you think of me? And I just blocked him because I honestly thought it was going to be of private parts, you know? But I mean, do you know what I mean? I'm just not interested. And the fact he's took this picture in his bedroom. I don't even know if it is his bedroom. I mean, it's absolutely massive room. And it's got a picture of a leopard skin jacket on there, which to me means he's probably got out of bed with a woman and he is literally giving me that picture of the bed he's got out, because this is like a really, really huge bed. I mean, it's massive. And I don't think that leopard skin thing on the actual chair is his. It's more likely a woman's he's had sex with. So it's like, am I really going to be interested in that? I really don't think so. But it's just funny, you know? It's like, because they expect every woman to like that look and to fall at their feet with it. And it's just, I'm not interested. So there's this other guy in the UK, but I can't see anything on his Facebook. And he says, maybe if I friend request you, I'll see something. But I haven't seen any of it. And then this other guy I just blocked because he's miles away. Do you know what I mean? And he's in a relationship. I mean, why would you even do that if you're in a relationship? Do you know what I mean? Just block him. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm not interested in someone like that. Do you know what I mean? And so, I got a feeling it's a guy that I spoke to years ago. Actually, doesn't say he's a member of that group. And so it's just like, and there's some really other weird things that go on in this thing, right? So this guy, like I said, connected with me, and I can't even see anything about him. So that's absolutely ridiculous for a start. And then this other guy, yeah, I had some bad news today. That I saved a little hedgehog's life on Monday, and it took 5 hours to find someone to care for it. It had a carer, and this person nurses sick hedgehogs, rehabilitates them and sets them free in the wild. And this was on Monday. I found it in the garden, and basically it was really poorly. Its eyes had all flies around it. It looked like it was about to die, you know. It was really lethargic, wobbly. The sun had got to it. I thought if I left it there, it's just going to be ate by the flies and die, basically, in the baking heat. So I took this hedgehog in. I managed to get it eating some food. I managed to get it drinking water. It was wobbly but still strong, but it looked like a baby. And eventually this carer came, and they came and collected it. And it didn't look in too bad shape by his overall, like, looking at it. He could find a tick on it, but he couldn't find any fly eggs, which is what he was most worried about. Fly tick, I think it's called. And you know, when the flies lay eggs and their larvae, and literally it just becomes horrible because it rots their body away, basically, because those flies multiply. So luckily I caught him in time for that. And sadly, he took it to his vets, and the vet's nurse said it had got bite marks on it. So they didn't know if any terminal damage was done. And then he had a microscope of his own and found its feces that it had bacteria and worms in it. So he took it back to vets. It had fluid, had worming injections, it had antibiotics, and sadly today it died just after 2:36. And he's buried it in his parents' garden, and that was really, really sad. So I was really upset. And then this guy was one of the ones that connected with me through that dating site, which I expect he's just like chatting up loads of women. And I said, hi, you sent me a friend's request. And then they said, you okay? And I said, yes, thanks. Just wondering why I got a friend request from you. Wanted to get to know each other. So I said, thank you. And then he said, hi again. And I saw baby hedgehogs whose life I saved on Monday and got a carer to take him in. Died this afternoon. So sad. And he's like, YH, you okay? And then anyway, he decided to ring me. And I found out he lives in the same town as my best female friend. So that was quite a shock because I didn't expect him to live so near me. And he's young in his 20s. And I was talking to him, but you know, he was saying stuff already like I said, I've got to go food shopping. He's like, oh, where's mine? I mean, I don't like it when a guy says that. It's like as if I'm gonna buy a guy food. And for one, I don't even know him. And he was saying stuff on the phone call like we should get to know each other. And I'm thinking, what do you think I'm doing now? Because I was sad at first, and then I was asking him, like, has he got a girlfriend? Has he had? When was the last time you had a girlfriend? Was my question. Like, how long were you with her for? And why are you interested in? Why are you interested in asexual when you could get a heterosexual? Do you know what I mean? Girl. So that type of thing. So and he was asking me what work I do, and I was asking him what work he does and stuff like that. But, you know, I don't know him, and I'm trying to get to know him. They said we should get to know each other. It's like, well, I'm already trying to get to know you. You know, I said I'm, you know, because I'm asexual. I'm not sexual. Do you know what I mean? So it's completely different. I'm not getting to know him by having him on my bed or anything. I didn't suggest that, obviously. But I mean, do you know what I mean? It's like getting to know someone who's talking to them. I said to him, I can't be in a relationship with anyone I'm not friends with first. And I've told all the people. Well, most of them I haven't even friend accepted. Most of them, you know, I haven't bothered with. But and this guy drinks alcohol. You know, I don't want someone really who drinks alcohol. But you know, fancy, what a strange thing to say. Let's get to hi. What a strange thing to say. Like, let's get to know. I want to get to know you when I'm already talking to them. Like, that is one of the really strange things sexuals say. Like, I'm talking, I'm asking about their job, they're asking about my job, and then they say, oh, we should get to know each other. It's like, well, I'm already getting to know you. Do you know what I mean? By asking you questions about what work you do and where you live and finding out about your life. So I just thought that was really strange. Very strange. Do you know what I mean? I think with sexuals, the idea of getting to know you means more intimately, you know? But they were asking me if I like cuddling, and I'm like, yeah, and kissing, I'm like, yeah, but not just anyone. And I only a boyfriend, like, do you know what I mean? And I can't just be with someone just like that in a relationship, you know? It's crazy. But that's the way all the memes. What's memes? I mean, I know what memes are, but I mean, are you a meme person, are you? But yeah, I'm just talking about the strange things that sexuals say to asexuals. Because the title of the chat, oh, you think it'd make a good meme, do you? Is that what you mean? Yeah, so I just find it hilarious that I don't know if you followed my last videos, but basically, thanks for tuning in, by the way. Basically, yeah, I'm in a UK singles dating group on Facebook. I joined some time ago, and I decided to actually say I was asexual and looking for a no sex, no marriage relationship in the UK and see what happened. And yeah, I got quite a lot of response mostly from guys who are very hypersexual, sadly. But this one actually phoned me today via Facebook Messenger, so I was quite shocked because I was a bit upset because if you didn't listen to what I just said, I saved a baby hedgehog's life on Monday, but sadly it died with the carer today. So I was quite upset when this person phoned me, which was quite nice of them. But you have to be very careful when a sexual person hasn't spoke to you before and they ring you when you're vulnerable, you know, because when you're upset is when you're really vulnerable and they think your guard's down. Because they were saying things like, can I put the video camera on? And I'm like, no, because I'm in my nightwear at the moment. I've been working at home, and they're like, yeah, but it's nightwear. It's not like, you know, you haven't got something on. And I said, yeah, but I don't feel comfortable to on a first chat to show you my nightwear that I'm wearing. Most of my boyfriends thought they could change me and I trusted them, and then they hurt me emotionally. That's really horrible. Yeah, I know. I think that's what a lot of the guys think in this group. You know, I think they think it's just a temporary thing, and it's not. Because this one guy who I mentioned a couple of days ago, this actual Indian guy in the UK, when he first started talking to me, goes, I've read your post and I'm not interested in sex. And I'm not interested in sex, and you know, I'm not wasting your time. You know, I'm not that type of guy. And then I found out during the conversation the next day that yes, he does like sex and he wants a marriage and kids. And I did, because he said in the message that I want friendship with you and maybe more, but it's like I've already put I don't want marriage and I don't want sex. So, you know what I mean? And I think that was not totally honest. What he meant to say was the fact that, oh, I don't want sex with a woman straight away. I'm not that type of guy. That's what he actually meant to say. And I think that's what they misconstrue. They think I'm just saying that because I'm a female that wants to protect herself and initially saying, well, I'm not having sex with you straight away. But that's really not how it is for an asexual. I mean, permanently, forever don't want sex, not just when I initially meet you. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's a danger of getting into a relationship with a sexual. I mean, I'm not aiming to get into a relationship with a sexual person. And to be honest, if I was going to, I'd more want a Indian sexual guy because I feel more comfortable being closer to an Indian sexual guy. Obviously, I want an asexual Indian guy, not a sexual one, but I feel more closer and more comfortable being close around foreign guys usually. But I mean, these guys are in their 20s, they're British, and I thought after my last brief boyfriend of being British and not asexual, it might be possible. Well, I thought it might be possible with an asexual younger British guy, to be honest. But I thought, you know, like if I'm gonna go for a sexual guy, I want him to be in his 20s. I can't be with an older guy. I just can't. But I prefer, like, there's a guy I was dancing with recently. He's a sadly very sexual, but he's Indian, but I can be close to him. Like, he does really nice cuddles, which is good, and stuff like that. So I get something out of it, if you know what I mean. But you know, I'm not in a relationship with him. I can never be in a relationship with him because he's hypersexual, sadly. I'm really sorry they emotionally hurt you. That's the problem. A lot of sexuals, they don't understand. They don't. Cuddles are everything. Oh, bless you. I love kissing, you see. That's a problem as well with me being such a kissaholic with being asexual, is because there's not a lot of asexual guys, or well, I'm only into guys. There's not a lot of asexual guys that are that into kissing, I find. I think like they would agree with you that cuddles are everything. And you know, most of the people I know, the cuddles are so much more important. I actually prefer kissing to cuddling, which is very weird for a female, I think. Very, very weird, very, very strange, I think. But I prefer, you know, like I can kiss for 3 or 4 hours at a time, whereas cuddling I wouldn't cuddle that long. But obviously, if you're kissing, you're kind of like, I don't know, if you're kissing, you're probably more intertwined than cuddling. So if you're kissing, your bodies are more intertwined. But I like doing it with clothes on. I don't like kissing with my clothes off. You know, I'm not into nakedness at all. So you know, it's hard because if you're with a sexual guy and you cuddle them, they get a sexual pleasure out of it. That's the problem. So you got to be very aware that if you are with a sexual person, whereas you just like the warmth and feeling. Like with the Indian guy that I was dancing with, I really love feeling close to him because I love being close to Indian guys. I don't know what it is. He's the only guy so far I've been able to be close to there at that dancing place. Like really physically close to, like more than anything. And I know he's a hypersexual, which I have to keep obviously my boundaries in place a lot with him. He tries to go over them sometimes. I'm like, no. But he did ask me last time. He said, why don't you like doing this and that? I said, because I'm asexual. I said, you've probably never heard of it. He said, oh, yes, I have. And I don't know how he's heard of it. I'd like to know if one of his friends is asexual, because it's like, have you got an asexual friend for me, please? Cheers. It'd be great. But yeah, but when he dances with me, like, he puts his head on my shoulder sometimes and I put my head on his, and it's like a really nice cuddle. But obviously he's feeling my body when he's doing that. As a sexual person, because I've been in relationships with sexuals for half of my previous life before I found out I was asexual, you know, they'll be getting, like, the guy will be getting sexual pleasure out of feeling the body from the cuddle. Whereas I'm not getting sexual pleasure out of it. I'm just enjoying the feeling of being close and the warmth, which I think is why you probably like the cuddles, if I'm right. I think that's why a lot of asexuals like the cuddles, because he does give really nice. I mean, I haven't kissed him on the lips. I've given him little kisses on the neck, and he kissed my head there and there, which was quite cute. Yeah, that's what I thought, you know. And that's why it's different, you know, with this guy, with the Indian guy, you know, aesthetically, he's 100% my type. That's why I don't mind being close to him as well, because aesthetically, he's just stunningly beautiful, my type. Like everything from his hair to his chest to his nose and face, everything. Smile. Obviously, he's hypersexual after sex there, and he knows he won't get it from me. But I feel really comfortable around him a lot of the time, even though he's a hypersexual, which does worry me a little bit. I'm like, why are you so comfortable around him? But I know it's because he's Indian. I don't usually get this with other guys, not straight away like that. I mean, you know, not unless they're my boyfriend. So it's very unusual for me. But I do know I want an Indian guy to be in a relationship with, but I couldn't be with him. Like, he couldn't be with me because he needs sex. But it's a shame, really, because he lives in my city. But he's very, you know, he's very after the women as well, which, you know, I'm not a couple with him, so he can do what he likes with other girls. Do you know what I mean? He always comes back to me anyway and starts dancing with me, carries on. So yeah, but I like that. I like cuddling him. I'm glad you get that, because when I cuddle him, he's just so beautiful to cuddle, because it's like having your favorite cream cake, isn't it? And you eat it and you're just like, oh, this is yummy. That's how he is aesthetically to me. Like when I hold him, like my head is literally on his shoulder, and he hugs me so tight sometimes, like, oh, really tight body hug. And I know he's probably getting a sexual thrill out of it, but the dancing, when I'm dancing, I feel it's really sexual for him. But when he's cuddling me, I don't know, I feel it's maybe a little bit more friendship in there, just a little bit more maybe. But I know predominantly for him it probably is a sexual thrill. But I think to cuddle me to that degree, my mum was confused when I came out, and she thinks that if I fall in love, I'll change or have to give up my comfort for my partner. She's not very supportive, and I've tried to explain it tons of times. Oh, that's really horrible. You know, you shouldn't have to compromise yourself at all. I mean, there are asexual dating sites. You do know that, don't you? I've been on asexual dating sites since 2014. So don't think you have to have sex, because you don't. You know, you don't even have to have sex if you're with a sexual. You have to make it plain and clear, though, up front, you won't have sex with them, so they know under no uncertain terms. You know, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry they're not supportive. It's hard, isn't it? It's really difficult for you. But all you can do is keep being yourself and keep showing her rather than telling her that you are asexual. It works best if you show rather than tell, because unfortunately we can't change all these people. So it's best just to stay strong and like, you know, if you're going to asexual meetup, that's great, because you can go, oh, I'm going to an asexual meetup today. I'm meeting my asexual friends. Or, oh, I was online today and I was talking to my asexual friends. Or, you know, like, I talk about asexuality till everyone gets fed up with it who's not asexual usually. like drive them up the wall with it. But it's like I want people, like it is a huge part of my life because obviously I'm always doing stuff for asexuals, where I'm on here or Facebook or a relative said I should see a doctor, which hurt. I have supportive friends, which is good because they're a better family. Yeah, you can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends. I'm so glad they're really supportive. Luckily, my parents are supportive of my asexuality, although I think my dad was saying about he's fed up of hearing about it. It's like I don't think, but they seem to be more weirded out. My mum seems to be more weirded out with when I bring up sex. Like I just talk about it as a matter of fact. Like I don't like sex, and like sometimes I get guys after me and I'm not interested, and she seems really weirded out by that. Like she doesn't want to talk to me anymore, and it's like, hang on a minute, you're sexual, you're not asexual, so why do you bothered about me mentioning the word sex? It's really weird. But I don't get that at all. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's just because I don't have any feelings towards sex. It's water off a duck's back to me. You know what I mean? And it's horrible. You don't need to see a doctor at all. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just we're different, and that's how we were most likely. I mean, the majority of us were born like that and didn't realise that. I was certainly born like that, and I would have thought that you were too. That's pretty much the majority of asexuals. There's a few minorities that find out later on in life that they are, because they just permanently don't have any interest. Mum didn't want me telling other people but I didn't listen because it's my life and my choice to come out or not. I came out to people at school and trusted people at church. Well done you. I'm so glad you came out. It's really important for your self-confidence and self-esteem. It's really, really important. The only reason she probably didn't want you to tell other people because of her, like, I don't want to say ego because I don't mean that horribly to your mum, but everyone like me, everyone has an ego, whether they like it or not. It's part of your personality. And, she might not want other people to know because she might be like, oh, that's my daughter. Do you know what I mean? But she should be proud of you for who you are and happy with what a wonderful person you are. I think parents can sometimes overlook that. They don't see what a beautiful person the person is, the heart and the soul of the person, the individual. They don't really, sometimes they don't always. Surprisingly, the people at church I told were supportive. It's good. That's really good. I think sometimes parents, they don't see everything like I see. You're obviously a lovely person. I can tell by your messages. You're a very emotional person. You want people to trust you. You know who you are in life. It's it's like you say, it's your mum that's confused. It's not you. That's and your mum's probably talked to your relatives or whatever, and they can't. They find it hard to accept something that's different to them because it's not what they've been taught or how they've grown up, but it's just how they've been conditioned. You just have to think that sadly your mum and your family has been conditioned to think that heterosexuality is the only normal type of sexuality, and that's how they've been conditioned from birth, most likely. And so because they thought that all their life, you're probably not going to change them. The only way you can change them is by trying not so much to change them, but being stronger in who you are and telling more and more people, because the more you tell people, the more confident you are, the less they've got an argument, because you're strong and you're confident and you're got clarity in who you are. It deflates their objectives to it, if you understand what I mean. So sometimes the best way we can change someone is not directly by changing them, but by changing ourselves to become a stronger, more confident human being in our own sexuality, so that these people that say stuff to us, it goes over our head and we just don't care anymore. You're like, yeah, whatever, which I know you seem really strong anyway, because you said it's your life and you'll do what you like. And I do that, and sometimes my parents don't like it. Sometimes I say to my dad, well, I'll do what I want. He goes, well, I know you will. I said, well, I am. Because we don't live our life with our parents. We can't live our life. Our parents are different to us. My parents admit they've got completely different personality to me. They're completely different in so many ways. I'm very active. They're very passive. I'm very loud. They like the quiet. I'm an extrovert, they're an introvert, so we're very much opposite people, you know. And I wish sometimes, that, I mean, my parents are supportive of my asexuality. I have to give them credit for that. But they did. She has no idea I'm pan-romantic. She only knows the asexual part. My religion is against LGBT plus, so I have to hide that and my gender identity. But I plan to change that in the near future. Yeah, you don't have to hide anything, You don't have to hide anything. Don't, be who you're born to be. Life is too short, Why is your religion against LGBT? It's such a shame. Yeah, you should never hide your gender identity, Pan-romantic, that's an asexual person who is interested in any gender. So that can be agender, gender fluid, male, female, trans, anyone. Yeah. I had a friend who was pan-romantic, but they're homo-romantic now. And I've got another friend who's still pan-romantic. But my friends decided they preferred guys over girls. But non-binary they could do, because they now identify as non-binary. You're gender fluid. Oh, that's nice. I mean, my mind's been much more open in my asexual journey since 2014. I know quite a few. I know 4 people who are cross dressers now. One of them doesn't keep in touch with me anymore. In fact, a lot of them. Well, one of them actually is a cross dresser, and they're openly cross dressed in India. They go out cross dressed, which is very strange for Indian culture. In India, because obviously I know quite a lot about Indians and culture. Their culture is usually was against homo romantics, because it was against gays, quite a lot of the time, relationship. But now gay marriage is accepted in India, which is great for once. And let's hope it stays like that. And they show me pictures of them dressing as a woman in public. And that was quite interesting, because I was thinking, wow, and there's a guy, I live in Exeter in the UK, and there was a guy, and he dresses as a woman, and he's got a market stall. So he actually serves people in his female clothes. Like, he didn't come out as female for ages. I think he only came out in the last year. And then he's gone from wearing guys' clothes all the time to now he just wears female clothes all the time. One day I just saw him start, I think he sells some clothes. I saw him start to wear the stock. And I'm like, oh, and then he's like that all the time now. So he permanently wears female clothing and he doesn't care. And he serves customers like that, which I think is really brave and good. I mean, this guy's not young either. So I think he's really brave, And he talks to he's got a mate that comes and sees him, that's on the stall sometimes, comes and sees him. I found a way to be stealth with mum on my gender identity, giving the hardcore tomboy excuse to be able to wear what I want, and she finally approved for a masculine haircut. Well, that's good. It's a shame you just can't be yourself. But I know when I was at school, primary school, my mum made me have short hair. She was like, I want you to have it short, because my mum likes short hair. I can't stand short hair. That's one of the reasons why I love having long hair now, because I can have it how I like. And I absolutely think I look better. Personally, I think I look better with long hair. My mum likes short hair because she likes that look. I don't. But obviously, yeah, if you want to look more masculine, then, most people who want to look more masculine want a short haircut. I have a trans guy friend in the Philippines. They're still female in body, but they identify as a trans guy, and they dress as a guy. And when they had a wedding, they married their bisexual partner this year, they were allowed to wear men's clothes, and I was so happy for them. They had to ask special permission, so they wore the man's clothes and they got married to a male bisexual. So, and they've got a kid together as well. I'm so happy for them both. They're like twin flames. Like when she was having when he was having a baby, that just sounds very strange to that. But when he was having a baby, his bisexual partner was messaging me, and I thought it was the same person because he was messaging me using their phone, and I thought, I didn't know at the time, that they were in having the baby until they said it's me, it's their partner. And I was like, or his partner. And I'm like, wow. And so it just sounded like the same person. And I'm like, this person is definitely the right person for you to be with forever, because you literally are soulmates. You speak like each other. It's because this person, bisexual guy who's the partner of the trans guy, they just talk to me like non-stop, like the trans guy's done to me on private messaging long distance for like about 4 years, I think it is now. We've been friends, and they speak, because you know sometimes guys have a tendency to speak less than people who are female. Obviously the other person's not they identify as trans now, but I knew them as originally as a woman, and then I knew them as agender, and then I knew them as trans. And so but in general guys don't tend to speak that much, but they talk exactly the same, like identically, nearly the language they use, the pace they speak at, because they message really quickly and full on share everything with me, like I'm there sat in the lounge with them. And so it was just really, really strange experience. But I think I was so proud that they could be dressed in a suit for their wedding. Hi, Ghost Geese. No idea if this works on mobile. Yay! I haven't seen you for ages, my friend. Oh, you sent me a message earlier. Sorry, I haven't got back to you. Yes, I've still got the hoodie. I haven't got it on at the moment, but Goat Geese bought me one of my asexual hoodies. Everything's coming up aces, and I wore it to at the UK Asexuality conference last year. So yeah, you got Goat Geese. You've got my new friend now. I was talking to you. They're really nice, Goat Geese are. I haven't seen them in person for a while. We have to get together. But yes, it definitely works on mobile. Thank you for coming on. It's lovely to see you. So yeah, I was explaining that I have a trans friend who's in the Philippines, and they were able to wear a suit for their wedding because they're still female in body. So they haven't had, and in Philippines as well, they're very, very strict. So they're very strict on things when people get married, they're the same gender or they're queer, that type of thing. They're very they've got strange feelings and thoughts and perceptions of it in Philippines, so sometimes it doesn't always work out well. But they managed to wear a suit to their wedding, so they were dressed in male clothes, which made them feel really good. So I'm glad that you've my life 23, that you've been able to at least wear guys' clothes and be more masculine. I plan to wear a suit. Have you got a partner at the moment then? Or when you say you plan to wear a suit, is that to your wedding, or is that to oh, you've got a partner? That's amazing. Good for you. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Are they asexual, or are they a sexual person? And how is that? It must be working out well, because you sound like you're going to get married, are you? It'd be great for you. Congratulations. That's wonderful news. I was watching a documentary. There's quite a few online recently, and it was about trans people. He's bisexual, but he's very respectful and he's understanding. Oh, bless you. Love to you both. This is really, really good. Oh, this is really, really good. I'm so pleased for you. Actually, in my Asexual Perspectives book, there's someone in this book that's with a bisexual, and not having sex doesn't matter to them. So it does work. Wow. You should be in one of my other books that I'm doing for asexuals in the future, because I'm working on my second book for asexuals at the moment. But the next book after that is Asexual Love Stories. Let me know if you want to be in it. I haven't done the questionnaire for it yet, but it'd be I would need to get your email for it. It'd be really good to have you in it, actually. asexualize@gmail.com. My email should be down below. I mean, if you want to definitely be in it, I wasn't going to start the book till next year, but if I know you definitely want to be in it, I might start advertising that one soon as well. I'm currently working on my second one, and I'm currently finishing off another. I've just published my fibro book, Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook, in Kindle. I'm about to launch it in print over the next 3 to 4 weeks. I've been working really hard on that. But I think that would be so good to have your personal story, because I'll be asking people questions and getting people to be interviewed for that book about things like how you came to me. Only ace book I've read is Let's Talk About Love. Is that actually an ace book? Because I saw that, but I wasn't sure if it was written by ace person. I mean, this is my book, Asexual Perspectives. 47 asexual stories, love, life, and sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I interviewed 46 asexuals across the globe for that and tell my own personal story in it. So they're like interview stories because I asked them all different questions. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so and at the moment I'm actually working on a book. I mean, you're welcome to be in this book if you want, because I still need a few more people for it. This book is it's basically you have to have sex. So it's about, the book that I'm currently working on is an asexual guide to sex for asexuals that want to try it, basically. So this is my second book I'm working on, but the third book is love stories. So it can be love stories between an asexual person and a sexual person, or an asexual person and an asexual person. I have tips, actually. Yeah, so the first book, because I need your email. So the first book is the one I'm currently, so obviously this was my first book for asexuals. It's been out 2 years. The book I'm currently working on is an asexual guide to sex, which is for people who've actually had sex in a relationship at some point, an asexual person who's had sex to give advice to others. And then the next book after that is Asexual Love Stories, how to find love as an asexual person. That's the one that's coming up afterwards. But I might start putting the feelers out for that one. But if you wanted to take part in either of those, I don't know if you've had sex before or not. A lot of asexuals haven't. So at the moment I've got 14 people that are being interviewed for that. So make sure to hit that button, family, the like button. Yes, it's really great. Oh, right, brilliant. Let me write your email address down. Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, hit the like button. That's great. Let me get your email. Dusk. Do you want me to hide it afterwards? Because I don't know if you want other people knowing it, but I've got your email now. Yeah, let me see if I can. I'll try and hide it. Let me make sure I've. I don't want to. If I said it out loud, I hope I haven't said the whole thing out loud, because I'm doing a live stream, so I can't erase it on a live stream. I think I've got it all right. Okay. Right. Oh, you can't. You can only remove. I don't know. I'm hoping I can just remove the comment, because I don't want to remove you. Oh yeah, just remove that comment. There we go. Oh, I think I've removed the wrong one. Yeah, because it moved up. Sorry about that. Yes. Sorry. I removed another one of your messages. I didn't mean to. Right. I'll write to you. It'll be on Sunday I'll write to you, because tomorrow I've got a great big webinar I'm on. That I'm doing. So, and I'm doing the asexual book stuff on Sunday again. So I will literally write to you at that address on Sunday, because I'm sorting out. But tomorrow I'm doing a long webinar that's going to take most of the day, and I've got some work to finish on the fibro book for tomorrow. But hello, how are you? Wow, we're having an ace pie here. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. Make sure to hit that like button, family. That was Luciano's logic. That's really nice of you. Thank you. Yeah, the like button would be awesome. So yeah, I've diverted quite a lot off this topic of what I was originally talking about. But yeah, I find some of the things that sexuals say to asexuals quite funny, like things about, like, I was explaining, there was this guy that sent me a picture of him with his chest saying, "Hey sexy, what do you think of me?" And it's like, because I'm asexual. Oh, you're also an ace YouTuber. Cool. 4K, yes. So yeah, so I find that stuff quite funny because obviously as an asexual person, I'm not turned on by a guy seeing a guy's six pack with, and a guy with barely any clothes on. That doesn't do anything for me. So I find it really, really funny when a guy tries to do that to me when I have no interest whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? And then when this guy was, I'm a YouTuber too, we all spreading the awareness. This is good. Well, good for you, all you YouTubers out there. It's good to spread awareness. I live stream every day on this channel. Usually in the UK between 11 I start somewhere between 11 and midnight. I try to start at 11, but sometimes I have so much work to do that I'm still working on writing stuff, and so I'm in the middle of flowing, so sometimes it's not till nearly midnight. But yeah, it's really good you're spreading the awareness. It's really important because the more we spread awareness of asexuality, the more people there will be for us to make friends with and have a relationship with, should we wish to, and the more sexuals will know about it. So, like the start of this video, I said that I'm actually in a group, a UK dating group that isn't for asexuals. I run 5 asexual groups, by the way. It's annoying but funny when sexual people think they know everything about us, but they don't, and think something will change us without realizing it won't. Yeah, that is really funny. I mean, one of the guys in this dating group, this sexual dating group that I did give a nice post to say thank you so much for accepting me in the group, despite me being asexual, asexual and not heterosexual. And that I reiterated again that I was looking for someone in the UK with no sex, no marriage ever. And then if I said, if you live abroad, if you want marriage or you're already in a relationship or want sex ever, don't contact me, because they pretty much, a lot of them ignored my message, and I got messaged from the people that were abroad and the people that most of them are already in relationships if you look at their profile, and it's like, what? And yeah, it's like they obviously thought I didn't mean what I said. When I say I don't want sex, it means I don't want sex, but yet you end up getting the people that want sex. It's like, what part of no, I don't want sex and no, I don't want marriage do you not understand? Do you know what I mean? It's like, have you got such a small brain that you can't comprehend no sex, no marriage? Unfortunately, it seems like so, and it's like you said, they think they're going to change us. And a lot of them, I think that when I say no sex, it's initially like, it's because I'm just introducing myself. I'm not a girl that's out to have sex, but they still think I want sex or need it and happy to have it, And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. When I say I don't want sex, it doesn't mean temporarily. It doesn't mean to say initially. It means forever. I'm not interested in it. I don't feel that way. Some guy tried to get me to cheat and thought I'd like sex, even though I told him I was taken and what asexuality was. That's disgusting. But they do that, don't they? They do that. They think that, I had a sexual friend a while ago, and they were being so disgusting about doing stuff over my picture, which you can imagine what they were talking about. And I've known this person online for quite a long time, and then they decide to full on tell me what they really thought of me in no uncertain terms on how sexy and hot I was. And I'm like, well, just because I'm sexy and hot doesn't mean to say I want sex. Asexual can be sexy or hot. It doesn't mean to say I want sex. Just because I look sexy and hot doesn't mean to say I want sex. They don't go together. And they just think just because you look like that you want in that, But most of the time I keep covered up. What makes me laugh is I get so many sexuals after me, and I don't show my, I've been clubbing lately and my dress did show a bit of my boobs, I have to admit. But as a general rule, the majority of my pictures, I don't show a lot of my body off, right? And even though just head and shoulders shot, guys can fancy me off. I'm like, how can you think I'm that hot just from looking at my face? But that's nice, I suppose. But you know what I mean? It's like, I never even used to wear any dresses that showed any boobs and put them on Facebook. It's only because one of them, but it's got like netting over it, so it's a little bit more covered up. Because I'm not too, I don't really go around flaunting my boobs. Not that some asexuals do like show their boobs off. You know what I mean? They don't have to not show them just because they're asexual. But it's just I personally don't really like to do much of that. But I like the dress, a particular dress I wear, and it does show that cleavage a bit. And because it's got netting over the front of it, I feel a bit more safe. But I've been catcalled before. It's disgusting, and that's a thing. What's a catcall? I don't really understand what a catcall is. Sorry, I'm a little bit like out of terminology where sexual stuff's concerned. Sometimes I don't even know what they're talking about. I'm like, excuse me, what are you talking about? What is catcall? Is that the same as fishing and stuff? But I don't really know what it is. But I know I get a lot of sexuals that try to ring me. They try and video chat with me, like straight away. Like this person today, they called me. They didn't switch their camera on right away, which I'm really glad about. But what made me laugh was when they're saying, "I want to get to know you," and it's like, well, you are because you're talking to me. When someone whistles or howls or something, when someone, oh, it's called wolf whistling in the UK. They call it wolf whistling, not catcall. That's interesting. I didn't know what the term catcall means. So yeah, in the UK, when they whistle out their cars as well, they do it and stuff like that as you can walk past. But you know, it's not. I mean, I don't mind guys thinking I'm sexy, attractive, and hot. It's when they expect me to act on that I have a problem with it. It's like just because you find me sexy, hot, and attractive doesn't mean to say I have to have sex with you or have to do anything physical with you. You know what I mean? Exactly. You know, it's like you know you could like loads of people admire pop stars that they're never gonna and probably want to have sex with them, but they're never going to. They're just gonna admire them from a distance. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't mind a guy finding me attractive because I think that's a compliment in some ways, but a lot of it's just they just are for anyone. That's another thing that's not great though. They are literally it's any woman. Like in this UK sexual group, right, dating group I've been in and only spoken in this week, it's like the women, I can't believe how the women objectify themselves. Like I thought men were bad in objectifying women, in making them sex objects. But in the group I'm in, they're all objectifying themselves. Every picture nearly is specifically with a low cut dress with their boobs showing and their body showing. And I'm like, how can you do that to yourself? I understand that a lot of guys objectify women, but women doing that to themselves, I don't understand it. It's like, why would you just say, look, I want to date and have a relationship. Here's my body. I just think it's so disgusting. I'm like, why are you objectifying yourself as a sexual object? There's one person in it. I'm fully covered in my picture on there, but there's one picture. Oh, sorry, I got short sleeves, so I got my arms shown, but it's a higher neck. But there's one person there that's got a beanie hat on and a top, and I got the impression that they're dressing purposely a bit boyish. So I thought, maybe they're part of LGBT. I don't know. But I have to say, in favour of the group, they have got lesbians in there. And I was quite surprised surprised in a good way. I think that's good that they have lesbians in there. They have women looking for women as well, not just women looking for men. And they have not deleted my posts, which a lot of sexual groups, do delete posts. So I was quite happy about that. But yeah, one of the people, oh my goodness me, they didn't get what I was saying about asexuality, and they go, oh, maybe she just uses lots of toys, ha ha ha, meaning sex toys. It's like, I haven't even ever used a sex toy in my life. Obviously, if I'm asexual, it doesn't mean to say I couldn't use sex toys on myself if I wanted to, because just because you're asexual doesn't mean to say you can't have some sexual behavior. But I've seen some sexual clothing kids have worn at school that's against dress code, and the people that work there don't do anything unless someone brings it up. It's sad. Yeah, it's really sad. I remember when I was at school, and the girls, they used to wear really, really short skirts to attract the boys, and it's like, but I think sometimes you're supposed to wear skirts, aren't you, a certain height, length, like above the knee, but they were just like wearing it, like really short skirts. But I just think it's really sad the way society brings children up, and they bring them up to think that that's what they have to do to attract boys. I mean, I saw an advert. When I see an advert, I don't usually watch TV. I think it was on YouTube. I saw an advert, and I don't know if it's YouTube or TV briefly when I put a movie on. I don't know. It's quite a while ago because I don't watch TV, but I do sometimes watch movies on TV. Anyway, there was this advert and it had kids in it and they must have been like no more than 6 years old. And they had all makeup all over their faces with jewelry, like beads on. And it was to introduce like a kids show where they talk about boys. And I'm thinking, my God, you look like you're 6 years old and you look like you're going out tarted up. Do you know what I mean? Like literally really thick lipstick on, hair all done up, beads, like skirt and top, and the whole like face was covered in makeup. And I'm like, you know, and the whole thing we're promoting is the fact that we're talking about boys. Come and watch our channel, you know, boys and more boys. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's such a thing. Most of what kids at school talk about, even when I was in elementary school, was about dating and sexual things. I never understood the crave of it and the draw people had to it. No, I mean, I'm a highly romantic person. So I really, like, even as a kid, I experienced high levels of romance. Like, I would like a guy more than a friend for like 2 or 3 years. It was like long lasting with me. And I'd really want to kiss them and hold their hand and stuff like that and to talk to them. But sex never entered my head. You know, sex never entered my head. I never even thought about it, you know? You're a cheesy romantic. Oh, bless your heart. Oh, 6 years. Oh, hi, Heather. 6 years old going on 14-year-old. Are you talking about me? What are you talking about? I'm always like 6. Oh, I'm very young for my age, birth certificate age, because it's not true to who I am. Yeah, I'm quite happy to be female, but I do have some male traits actually, which I didn't tell my life. 23. I do have some male traits which I like having, even though I feel so. I have like a guy business side to me. I have like a teenager side to me. There's no in between much with me. About those little girls. Oh, right. Yes, Heather. Sorry. I thought you were talking about playful me. Do apologise. You were talking about the girls that were dressed up in all the makeup and everything. Yes, that is horrible when they are that age and they're kind of being pushed to be older than they really are. I think it's so sad because they will grow up and they're teaching. The whole point of the show is to talk about boys. So they're teaching people from a very young age that they've got to be interested in relationships with boys. And that is like what their value's worth, really, as a woman, as a girl. You hate the kids' pageants. Oh, they have them, do they? I can't spell pageants. I know what you mean. I think you've spelled it right, haven't you? Is that in the USA? I presume you're in the USA because we don't have things called pageants over here. But I've seen USA programs, films that have pageants. So I'm guessing oh, you're in the USA. Yeah. It's really what I know. I'm going to go completely off topic, but you just reminded me that I don't like, because I love guinea pigs and I've seen a lot of clothes for guinea pigs lately. Personally, I don't like that. It's like, why don't you let guinea pigs be guinea pigs? Why do you want to dress them in bonnets and suits and things? It seems a bit weird to me. I don't personally like that, but each to their own. But yeah, I just think it's a bit cool doing that to guinea pigs. Like my guinea pigs hate anything. Like one of my guinea pigs was really poorly. Well, most of my guinea pigs have had operations in the past. I've got one left now who lives with my mum and dad, and she's had 2 operations in the last year. And but one of them had an operation, and they had to have a thing around them, one of those plastic things that goes around their neck so that they didn't open the stitches up and bite themselves, and they couldn't stand it. The vet tried to put some like stocking on it, like you would like bandage you would usually use for the wrist. They tried to put that over its body to keep it in place, and it just wasn't having it. It used to try and just go like this, and it pulled it off in the end, kept pulling it off. So that was it. I had to leave it off. It was just annoying it and upsetting it and frustrating it. And I don't like that being done to guinea pigs either. I just think it's not normal and it's not right for them. You know, like guinea pigs don't tend to go around in little clothes. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I haven't known a guinea pig personally to be happy with having anything on like that. Do you know what I mean? And so, you know, maybe other people have brought their guinea pigs up to accept things like that from a very, very early age. But I just, you know, when I see these adverts for like, apparently it's the latest thing, rage, that having guinea pigs in little costumes, I just like, yeah, it just makes me cringe. I'm like, I don't know how they got them to pose for the photographs like that. doesn't bear thinking about. I hope they treat them fine. But yeah, so I understand. Yeah, I mean, Heather, I do agree with you as well. You know, they're making them too old for their age. I mean, I think kids should be allowed to be kids and use their imagination and really express themselves and be confident in who they are. You know, I think a lot of the problem is in relationships with a lot of people growing up is we're not given the skills of relationships. You know, at school we're never taught how to have a good relationship. We're never taught what good relationship looks like. We're never taught the warning signs and red flags of people that are narcissistic, people that are abusers, people that are manipulators. Instead, we're talking about, you know, we're taught to have sex and that having sex is normal, and that's all wrong. It's all backwards. It actually encourages, you know, bad things to happen. You know, like if guys aren't made aware of, you know, the fact there's asexuals and that people who definitely don't want sex ever, and guy, you know, well, it doesn't just apply to guys. If sexual people, I talk about guys a lot because I'm heteromantic, but you know, but only attracted guys. But you know, I just think, you know, hopefully it would cut some of the rapes down in the world and the sexual abuse if there was guys, well, obviously women too, if there were people with the sexuals knew that there's people who don't want it. My school started changing how they teach, and in my health class they brought up asexuality. I decided to speak up and spread some knowledge. Way! High five to that. My life 23. That's amazing. Oh, that's really, really good. Disgusting and degrading. We should teach girls to be independent, to be dependent on themselves. Exactly. There was one person in the group, the sexual singles group, the UK singles group, and he's like, oh, because I said I don't want marriage, I don't want sex, you know, and they're going, oh, so basically you want to take all a guy's money and give him nothing in return. And I thought, so basically guys think that if you know, by being in a relationship with a woman, they automatically get entitled to sex, and that's what that woman owes them. I'm thinking, no. I said, actually, I'm financially independent. I don't need money from a guy, thank you. I'm not interested in that either, you know. It's like, I don't know where these guys get off thinking that way, you know. It's like, I had this other guy, right, talking about things that are really funny, right. This other guy connected with me from that group, right. And this person said about, this is from the UK sexual dating group, right? This person said, hi, I'm ready for that, and I live in Wellingborough. This is meant to be in the UK. You can call me on this phone number. It's like, I don't even know the person. Miss Congeniality, by the way, I think the blonde in Miss Congeniality is asexual. Oh, I saw that a very long time ago. I didn't pay that much attention. I don't think I've watched it properly fully. Portuguese. Are you from Portugal? Animo? 4K? Portuguese. Anyway, this person, yeah, in this, from this dating group, again, like I'm telling you in this video, what is really funny, so do Brazil. Are you in Portugal or Brazil, or are you talking about something else? So anyway, I was talking about this group that I'm in, this sexual dating group, things that I find really funny that sexuals say. Like this guy, he connected with me and he said, oh, hi, I'm ready for that, and I live in Wellingborough, which I presume he means is the UK. You can call me on my phone number. It's like, I've only just met you. Do you know what I mean? Why would I, no, I'm British, so I don't understand what you wrote. So, you know, I just think that's hilarious. And I put, hi, I have to be friends with someone first before a possible relationship. Thanks for your number. Do you know what I mean? That's what's so funny. It's like, why are you giving me your number and saying you're ready for that? You don't even know me. Do you know what I mean? A lot of them are just looking for marriage and stuff like that. And then he said, okay, dear, how are you doing? And I put, busy with work. And then later on, they messaged me at 7:22. I just found this hilarious. 7:22. Just came back from work, sweetie. I have 2 days off, tomorrow and Sunday. I couldn't do nothing but laugh. I'm like, one, you're calling me sweetie and I don't even know you, because I've never spoken to you before until you sent me that first message. And two is, you have 2 days off, tomorrow and Sunday. It's like, yes, what do you want me to do about it? You have 2 days off. And what's supposed to mean? And it's just so funny that they use this assumptive technique that, like, they try and pretend you're, like, already in a relationship with them. Do you know what I mean? When they start calling you sweetie and stuff like this and start saying their whereabouts. It's like, hang on a minute, you're chatting up loads of women from that group and no doubt many other places. Why do I need to know what time you came back from work? I've had that happen. Some guy responded implying he wanted to hook up. I had an amazing conversation about asexuality before blocking him. Good for you. Good for you. I know. I like, there was a guy from this group as well. And he kept saying to me in the group, I want to ask you about it. I want to ask you about it in private message. And I thought it's going to be one of those guys that wants to know all the sexual details of my asexuality. And hi, who's Annie Anonimo? Is that you? 4K? Hello. To you as well. So yeah, so it was just so funny. What was I saying? That these type of this guy, right? So he was on about, I want to ask you about asexuality. I want to ask you in a private message. I thought he's going to come and ask me all the sexual questions about my asexuality. It makes it laugh. They ask you the most sexual questions because you're asexual. They probably wouldn't even think about asking anyone else. So anyway, I kept saying to me, I said, well, if you think you might be asexual, then that's fine. Let's talk. You can message me. And he started having this conversation with me, and this is how it went. And this is how it went. I'm waving hello to you, right? So this is how, what's he saying? Right, okay. Hi. And I said, hi. I live in the Netherlands and I was living in East London for 7 years. Where do you live? So I told him where I lived. What do you do? What work are you going to do now? Oh, nice. What type of books? Because I said about asexuality. I'm an author and I have to do a live stream on my new book page soon. Then get back to doing more work for my marketing campaign for my book. This is my fibromyalgia self-help handbook. And I also write, and they said they also write short stories. And so I said that, what type of books do I write? And so I said about my non-fiction book. I said about this book, Asexual Perspectives book. Grab yourself a copy if you haven't already. By the way, the links are in the description for this video. And anyway, I said it's a bit worn because, like, I've literally read it and used it so much it's a bit tatty now. But yeah, so he put, is it about asexuality? I put yes. And then he's replied, I think I was like that when I was a teenager. You wrote something and reminded me of that. I'm like, I just like, well, asexuality is permanent, you know? You wrote that you don't mind or you like seeing the chest of a man. I answer any question thrown at me. I love to spread awareness and find answering questions in general being fun, though my ADHD is probably because I get to talk more. I do answer a lot of questions, but some of them they just purposely asking for a sexual thrill, and so I stop there. You know, because the guys, what they do is they get a sexual thrill out of it. I mean, they even tell me, some of them, oh, I've got an erection down below now. Do you know what I mean? That's what I don't want to hear from them. So I work out now where a guy is just genuinely asking because he's really interested in asexuality, or whether he's asking because he just wants to get a thrill out of me talking about, you know, he wants me to say what I do and don't like physically and what touching and kissing, you know. And it's like, no, I don't do gaming, but thank you for asking. So yeah, so I put, well, asexuality is permanent. You wrote that you don't mind or you'd like to see it. I'm mostly attracted to guys in their 20s. This guy is much older than I usually go for, and I could tell that by his picture. He's foreign, which I like, but I put, I'm mostly attracted to guys in their 20s, not more than early 30s usually. I prefer a young, hairless chest if I can get it, which is true. If I'm going to see a guy's chest, I prefer it to be like, you know, no chest hair. And then he started saying, when I was a teenager, I liked girls' breasts, but I didn't like their vaginas. Okay, we can chat when you come again, because I said I have to go. It's like, okay, this is quite intimate stuff he's telling me. And then he's saying to me stuff like, what do the kisses do for you? How do you feel with kisses, you see? And I don't like asking that because it's really personal, and the guy's too old for me, you know? And he's basically wanting to know how that feels to me because he's, you know, getting some sort of thrill out of it, I think. And anyway, I just said to him, I can't just kiss any guy. It has to be a guy I'm highly aesthetically attracted to, or I just cannot kiss him. And usually that is younger guys in their 20s. I don't usually get attracted to older guys. The thought of it repulses me. With a younger guy, it's different. anyway, I need to get back to my book work and it's late here. Thanks for your interest. And then he's like, thank you for your time. We can chat later when you can. I think we want different things. I think you're older. So this guy's 52, but he looks 45. But this is a bit that I want to come on to. So he said, yeah, I said, yeah, that's much older than me. I need a younger guy. But look at their attitude. This is what's really bad, because they think just because I'm in a dating group that I'm desperate for a relationship because I'm asexual and that I can't get an asexual guy, or that no one else will want a relationship with an asexual. So they put it is difficult to find because young guys want normal sex. I have never seen an asexual guy, unless those who have weakness like impotent, cannot get erections, or they have problems with hormones. Do you know what I mean? The guy just isn't getting it, just because, so, I used to be uncomfortable talking about sexual things or hearing sexual things until I found out I was asexual. Coming out and explaining things enough times made me used to it. Exactly. I'm used to it as well, but I don't want to do it to a guy who's getting a sexual thrill out of it, because you know what I mean? But I'm so used to talking about sex stuff on this channel that I think some of the people, they're like quickly run because they don't like talking about it. But because I'm so used to it, he belittled you. Exactly, Heather. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm glad you're still with us, Heather. Yeah. So, but it is true. My life that I feel guys have a lot to live up to with sexual stuff. I don't understand why people are so strung on gender roles. I think guys a lot of the time don't know what they're doing. I mean, I've had in the past bad sex and good sex. There was only one guy who gave good sex. I've had sex with 5 guys. One guy was good at it. The other 4 were rubbish at it. They don't even have a clue about what to do a lot of the time. The highly sexual guys just want to stick it in. That's not good sex. They really don't have a clue. And it's like, I know more than you and I'm asexual. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but like you are totally right that because you talk so much about sex as an asexual, it doesn't bother you anymore. Like my mum sometimes, when I talk about it on the phone, she wants to get off the phone, and I'm like thinking, well, you're sexual, I'm not, and I'm the one just talking about it like a matter of fact. But in my old job though, I was in a concession, so I didn't work exactly for the company. I worked for a shop within a shop. But some people used to say to me, what books do you write? And I used to say, I write books for asexuals. And they say, what's that? And I tell them. But one of the guys who was a manager overheard it, and he pulled me in the office about it, saying, oh, I don't want you to speak about it on the shop floor. So like you said, it's not good. I said, well, it's my customers and they don't mind it. I'm very careful who I tell. I don't tell all of them. But if they're asking what books I write, I don't want to lie and say I'm doing something that I'm not. And I said, to be honest, I've got so used to talking about it that it just rolls off the tongue like a cup of coffee now, because I'm just so used to talking about it. It's like water off a duck's back. But I appreciate what you're telling me, so I won't say that word again, on the shop floor. So fair enough. But it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like I got so used to talking about it, and I don't have any inhibitions with it, and I don't have any problems with talking about it. I mean, people talk about gay people will talk about bisexual people will talk about lesbians, like quite a lot, more openly these days, and just because I'm asexual. But I think it's because it's got the word sexual in it as well. So I think the guy said to me, well, the guy who works there, the manager, said to me, someone could overhear the word asexual and think it means you're talking about sexual stuff on the shop floor, which is not appropriate, which I got is a message. So yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, I'm not, I just work for myself at the moment. So but yeah, so it just wore off a duck's back to me. I got so used to talking about it. I can write really well about sex as well and all sorts, that it just doesn't bother me anymore, because I've been doing it since 2015. I learned about sex from an animal documentary. I was 5. The first time I took health class, I ignored sex ed and got the best grades in my class for the HWN test, even though I paid no attention. What's the HWN test? I don't know how I did it. An animal documentary. Yeah, well, maybe just homework. Yeah, maybe just if you learn about it from an animal documentary. I mean, a lot of asexuals feel that sex is very animalistic, so maybe that's why you pass really well, because people think of sex as like 2 animals mating. Maybe that's what the majority of people think, so that's why you got really good marks. I mean, I like, I wasn't very naive about sex years ago when I was in my teens, which is why things happened to me that shouldn't have happened really, but they did. Because I was so innocent. I didn't know when guys were interested in having sex with me. I didn't think about it. So if you read my story in my book, you'll know that when I was 15 years old, a guy tried to have sex with me who was older than me, and I was underage. I was only 15, and I didn't know what the hell he was doing because I wasn't thinking about sex. He just did stuff without. Luckily, I stopped him. But yeah, that was quite tough at the time, but I just put it down to a bad incident in my life, which I'm quite glad I did, really, because I think otherwise I would have been in a worst way mentally because of it if I hadn't have just put it down to a bad incident and been calm about the whole thing in general as much as possible. But I kept it secret for years. I think I only came out about that after finding out I was asexual in 2014. I don't think I told anyone about that before. So yeah, that was quite hard at the time because I wasn't thinking about sex. I never expected a boyfriend to instigate that, especially not when I was 15 years old. He was 18 at the time. So, and the next girl after he was with, he got pregnant after me. So thank God I had a lucky escape. You know, I've never wanted kids in my life. So yeah, so you know, I think maybe you had just a good brain for it when you were younger. You know, if you learnt stuff. I didn't learn anything much at school. With the first sex ed came up in school, I was like, what do you mean I'll start feeling different? Many years later, I found out on looking back at everything, it all makes sense. Yeah. Well, I knew from 6 years of age that I didn't like sexual stuff. If you watch my channel, you'll probably know about stuff to do that as well, but I'll be talking about that in my book. My next book. But yeah, I'm not sure if I've mentioned it in the first book actually. I can't remember. I've mentioned when I was 15, but I don't think I've mentioned the sex incident when I was 6. But yeah, I knew at 6 years old that I didn't like sexual stuff, but I loved kissing. At 6 years old, I was passionately kissing a boyfriend at the time. 6 years old. I was very young to be very physical with a boy, but I like kissing him a lot with my clothes on. I've always been that way since 6. I adore kissing. Like 3 or 4 hours of kissing is great to me, but with my clothes on. I don't like taking my clothes off. I'm not interested in the naked body. I'm interested in the feeling of the kissing. I find the kissing very, very exciting. Like there was a guy in the group that was explaining how romance feels to him, which leads to sex for him. And I was like explaining that I get all that type of feeling just from kissing, but for me, I never get the urge for sex. It never happens. I never get the need, urge, or want for sex. So I'll get all the dopamine, the serotonin, and all the other hormone stuff he was talking about from the kissing itself, not the sex. So I said, I don't need the sex. I don't want it. Because he was trying to understand me a bit more. So the guy was being a bit of an idiot when I first started talking to him. He goes, oh, you need God for that type of relationship. And I'm like, well, I've already got God, thank you. But I don't feel romance towards God. So that's why I'm looking for a guy, you know. And then he started asking me some more serious questions to find out. And they're more, I've made sheets about asexuality and aromantic stuff and handed them out in school. Yes! Most people couldn't comprehend it. And one guy even thought of I dated him, I'd change. Oh. Why do they think that? It's really weird. Like, I was saying there's this guy who I've known a while online. He was saying naughty stuff he was doing about my pictures, over my pictures. And he was saying, oh, if I had sex with you, then you'd like it. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't. It doesn't work that way, you know? I said, you can't change my sexual orientation. Asexuality is my sexual orientation. You can't change it at all. It is who I am, you know? And I said, and I wouldn't like it. I said, I'd run the other way from you. Do you know what I mean? If you came near me with that attitude, because I don't want him doing anything like that, you know? It's like there was an older, when I was dancing at the foreign place sometimes I go to, there was an older foreign guy. I think it was 3.5 weeks ago, something like that now, when I was dancing there before. And this older foreign guy just couldn't be near. Like the Indian guy, fine. Even though he's hypersexual, I feel confident around him, comfortable, and I can be strong enough to state my boundaries and physically strong enough to be his equal. But this other guy, he was like, I'd say he's about 35 or more, but he was so strong and he was nastily strong. And 3 times I had to tell him no. And he walked off in a huff at the third time. I thought, finally, you've got it, because he was trying to hold my hands to dance with him. I thought, okay, I don't mind that. That's acceptable as long as I got distance between me and him. And then he kept pulling me towards him, and I'm like, no, because I didn't want my body touching his body, because I'm not attracted to older guys whatsoever. And then he was really forceful, though, you know. He got me in his grip, and I didn't like that. I thought, I'm glad I'm not your girlfriend, because you literally probably pin me down and have sex against my will, you know. I don't like that type of guy. The third time he finally got rid of it, you know. I mean, it finally got rid of him. He finally got the message, you know. And that's kind of how the guy online made me feel when he started about saying the stuff about, oh, you know, you'll change if I had sex with you. It's like, no, I wouldn't change if you had, I wouldn't have sex with you anyway, but I wouldn't change. And I don't understand why they think they have it in their head that the reason we're saying we're asexual is because we haven't had good sex, which is rubbish. I always say, like, even in my book, that I've had good sex in the past. I know what it looks like. My ex of 8.5 years was very good at doing that, you know, and he was the best out of all the people I had. He wasn't good in any other way. He's very abusive, actually, but not sexually, which is strange, but it's good, because I don't want sexual abuse, you know, even though I've had it before. But I had, you know, I was in the 8.5 year relationship after I'd had my previous sexual abuse. So that didn't stop me having it, which there's this other myth that they think, oh, if you've had sexual abuse, that's why you're asexual. It's like, no, I've had sexual abuse more than once, and it didn't stop me having sex, you know. It's just that now I just physically can't have it. There's something inside me that just won't allow me to do it anymore. It's like, I just can't do it anymore because it just repulses me. Personally, for me, not for other people. Go ahead and do it 55,000 times a night if it's consensual and you enjoy it. Go for gold, you know. You're doing it with someone who enjoys it equally. But, you know, for me, it's like, I'm not interested. I've had all the typical reactions from people. I filled up the 3 asexual tic-tac-toe boards online. I don't usually. It's so hard to comprehend that aces exist. What's the 3 asexual tic-tac-toe boards online? I haven't seen them. I'm intrigued now. Yeah, it's like, the reactions are really weird, aren't they? I mean, overall, I've got really good reactions. There's sometimes a few people. I mean, I get some trolls on this channel, which I'm glad I haven't really. I'm glad I haven't really got them on this stream. But a few streams ago, I get trolls, you know, and I let them have their say a little bit, because I'm not sure if they're what they're coming up to, and then they start at it. Bingo boards, mix it up, laugh out loud. Oh, I don't think I've seen those, or I probably haven't noticed them, because I'm not in that many forums. I mean, I'm still on Avon, but I don't go on there very much, because I'm so busy with that stuff. Because I have 5 asexual groups I run on my own. Then I've got pages. Then I've got this channel. I got my new Ace Fibro Girl page on Facebook that I'm live streaming on. Well, I've been live streaming on like daily there for the past week and a half, I think it is. Stumbled onto them looking at Google pictures. Yeah, there's some really strange things on Google, isn't there? There's loads of pictures of me of all different, because I do lots of different stuff, mostly asexual stuff, actually. So you can see me, but I've been blogging on my writing blog for over 8 years. So there's quite a lot of pictures from me, including a Halloween one that keeps popping up where I've got like this fake blood all over me, which is quite funny. But it actually looks good on me in a not nasty way as well. But yeah, there's quite a lot. I know I stumble on quite a lot of pics as well. But yeah. Anyway, I think I've been talking for so long now, like an hour and 22 minutes. It's been lovely to talk to you. I think I'll wrap it up there. But I just thought it was just so funny, some of the stuff they come out with, you know? Just like, do you know what I mean? It's, you know, the things they say to get you attracted to them, and the things that they say that it's like, why are you telling me this? Do you know what I mean? You've only just met me. But anyway, thank you so much, My Life 23, for tuning in. You've been an absolute pleasure to talk to you tonight. If you're online again, please do tune in and join me again. It'd be great. And Heather's been amazing. And Anonymo as well, I think it is. And there was someone else as well. Oh, and it's true what they say, laugh out loud, knowing it doesn't do anything. Yeah, I know. It's really, yeah, exactly. I mean, hopefully we'll get asexuality recognized even more. I mean, I'm working on my 2nd book for Asexuals, and I will email you. I'll email you on Sunday though, because I know tomorrow morning I've got to prepare for a massive webinar. I think it's a 2-hour webinar, something like that, and I've got to do loads of work for it in a workbook tomorrow morning that I haven't had a chance to do today before And so sending hugs before I go. Oh, bless you. So I will email you, but it'll be definitely Sunday because I've got it in my head to do asexual stuff on Sunday, you know, to do with my books. So yeah, I'll email you. I've got your email address. So thank you so much, and I'll see you again. Thank you so much. If you haven't already subscribed, I presume you have, but if you haven't, please subscribe down below, the big red button, and hit the bell icon so you'll get notified every time I go live. And I think you've given me a thumbs up already, but if there's anyone else watching who wants to give me a thumbs up, that'd be great. And I'll see you on the next live stream. Thank you so much. Love to you and everyone else that's tuned in tonight and participated. It's been brilliant. It's been so ace, as they say. It's been really lovely for all the other YouTubers to tune in. Thank you so much. Love you lots. And I'm glad that you found the partner of your dreams as well. It's really amazing. And they're bisexual. This is even great. So yeah, I'll email you on Sunday. Take care, lots of love, and I'll be live streaming again later on Saturday night as usual. Take care, embrace your quirky and each other, as I say. Take care, bye, nice to see you in my life, bye, thanks everyone else, bye, thank you.